Hi friends, we will start the second part of the video. The first part we have discussed what is death, what does Geeta advise us regarding the soul and the body, what are the differences between the soul and the body, and how is it that we can lead a life which is a journey from birth to death. And in this part we will continue our discussion. So here goes. Thanks. I hope this is clear. So in this journey of birth and death और बीच में हमने जर्नी की है, तो many people ask कि भैया इसमें डेस्टिनी का क्या रोल है? ये भी हमारा फ्री विल भी है, हमारा हम चॉइसेस भी अच्छे करेंगे, बट ये डेस्टिनी तो समथिंग इज देयर व्हिच वी आर नॉट एबल टू कंट्रोल. सो आई हैव जस्ट ट्राइंग टू give you a pictorial oversimplification of how prarabdha or destiny is going to affect this journey of your life, the present birth. So let us consider the prarabdha of every person to be a container. This is a oversimplified version of it. Please excuse me for that, but I hope this will clarify कि ये प्रारब्ध जो है हमको किस तरह से इन्फ्लुएंस करता है. तो हर एक बंदे का मान लो एक कंटेनर है जहाँ पे उसका प्रारब्ध पिछले जन्मों का लेखा जोखा गुड एंड बैड डीड्स आर गेटिंग कलेक्टेड इन दिस. ओके, सो गुड एंड बैड कर्मास एंटर इन एवरी बर्थ में वो एंटर करता है. तो यहाँ ऊपर से एंटर करता है और नीचे बढ़ते रहता है. तो जो हमारा पिछला 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 जो बर्थ है उसका जो गुड एंड बैड डीड है वो सबसे नीचे है और उसके ऊपर ये सारे बढ़ते रहते हैं. And finally it comes to this kind of a shape. Now अब हमारे present life में अगर we are trying to do something in which the first in and first out, if you follow that process, तो हमारा जो बहुत पहले वाला जो गुड एंड बैड डीड्स का जो नीचे फाउंडेशन बना हुआ है वो पहले निकलेगा. तो मैनी पीपल हैव दिस कंफ्यूजन कि इस जन्म में तो यार सब अच्छे काम कर रहे हैं फिर भी ये कहाँ से ये प्रारब्ध लग रहा है खराब है, बिकॉज वी आर नॉट अवेयर ऑफ whatever has happened in so many earlier previous births, and that is going to affect. So there is a way in which we can you modify somewhat the effect of the prarabdha. We will do that in the bhakti video. But yes, in this journey of life and birth and death and the journey of life that we'll have this effect of prarabdha also happening simultaneously. I hope this is clear. One thing very very beautiful in the Bhagwad Geeta is हम लोग तो डेथ की बात करने में डर रहे हैं, इवन बिटवीन स्पाउसेस, बिटवीन फैमिलीज. खाली विल में लिखने से नहीं होगा. विल में तो वी आर जस्ट मेकिंग फाइनेंशियल प्रिपरेशन फॉर व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन और पॉलिसी दैट मैटर. बट discussing death as something which how should we die, I don't know, at least I haven't come across any such discussion in my entire life or in any other book also. And the Bhagwad Gita very beautifully Lord Krishna explains to us that this is the way you can die and your death can be glorious. your जो आपका like I said एग्जामिनेशन होगा डेथ के टाइम में, उसको क्लियर करने के लिए क्या करना है, दैट ऑल्सो लॉर्ड कृष्णा हैज एक्सप्लेन टू अस. सो डेथ शुड बी ग्लोरियस एंड वी शुड कंसिडर दैट कि दिस इज वन स्टेप क्लोजर टू कृष्णा. एक लाइफ खत्म हुआ, अब उसमें हमारे जो अच्छे कर्म आए, जो हमारा क्रेडिट गुड कर्मा का बना, वी आर क्लोजर टू कृष्णा. Our last thoughts have to be him. A last utterance should be Om. ये मैं नहीं बोल रहा, ये गीता में specifically verses में लिखा हुआ है. So if our last thought has to be of Krishna, our last utterance has to be of Om. ये बिना प्रैक्टिस के नहीं होगा, because at the time of death there is the soul is trying to leave the body, and there is a struggle between the body and the soul happening, and there is a genuine feeling of the fear of uncertainty. There is a fear, and in that fear, the last thing that will come to our mind, if we have not practiced enough, will be thinking of Krishna. We will be thinking about maybe our loved one. We will be thinking of the pain that we are having. We will be thinking of कि भाई उसका लेना था, उसका देना था, all that uh, nonsensical things we'll be thinking of, which is most likely to be true in our case. बट अगर हमको ऐसा करना है कि लास्ट जब हमारा when we know that this is going to be our last, we start thinking of him, and last utterances is the other argument is कि पता कैसे है भाई तुम ये लास्ट होने वाला है और तुम सडनली भगवान का नाम लेने लग जाओ. तो that is what is further explained. So this is only possible if you lead a life where mind is disciplined. There is a regular routine of prayer and meditation. भाई आप रोज ही कर रहे हो, रोज ही आपको जब भी आपको कोई तकलीफ है आप ओम बोल रहे हो, तो जब डेथ आएगा तब भी आपके मुंह से ओम निकलेगा ना. तो और आपका जो थॉट्स है बाय मेडिटेशन यू आर एबल टू यू नो meditate, so that your thoughts are not on materialistic things. You are trying to prepare yourself that the soul is going on a spiritual journey. So ये सब day by day practice of devotional service, prayers, meditation, इससे ही होगा. तो अगर हम रोज भगवान का नाम ले रहे हैं और अनायास भी लेते हैं, द कृष्णा विद इन अस इज ऑलवेज इन अवर थॉट्स, तो डेथ के टाइम में भी उन्हीं का थॉट्स आएगा. Why this is important is that the last thought before we die will determine our next birth. So अगर कोई last thought में कुछ unfulfilled desire का सोच रहे हैं, तब the soul will try to find out that in the next birth कैसे मैं उस desire को fulfill करूं by right way or wrong way, and we will be losing the next birth by this element. Yeah, so last thoughts are very important. So mind ko control, like I said, is very important. Actually the full game, it seems to be of the mind only. अगर माइंड सही है, माइंड विचलित नहीं हो रहा है, bewildered नहीं है, the journey is clear to us, the free will we are aware of, the decision that we need to take as a preparation to finally give the exam of death. If all this is going to happen, it is the mind that is going to play. So mind को कैसे वश में करें, we will try to analyze that. All this which I said on death is in chapter 8 verse 6, explains this beautifully. So this is just for a context purpose. Now we go to the point. भैया ये सब even 1% भी पॉसिबल नहीं होगा अगर माइंड को हम लोग कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाए. एंड माइंड को कंट्रोल करना is not going to be easy. Lord Krishna also tells to Arjun multiple times that controlling your mind is the toughest thing that's going to be possible. So the human mind is resilient, obstinate, strong, stubborn. These are exact words used by Lord Krishna to explain the toughness of controlling the mind. ये कितना मुश्किल होने वाला है, but बिना इसके कुछ आगे the journey cannot be the way it needs to be without controlling it. So it's not going to be easy. तो माइंड एक्चुअली है क्या, एंड दिस इज साइंटिफिकली प्रूवन. दिस इज I've just given a simplified, pictorial impression about what I think was being said by Krishna. Of course, some of the thoughts are exact his words, but then the further elaboration of it is on my interpretation, which could be right wrong, but if it is relevant, because I find it easier to explain, so I'm using it. So it has been proven that mind 90% is of subconscious mind, and subconscious mind is the experiences, desires, and memories of all the cumulative past births that we have had. So 90% of our mind तो पिछले बर्थ का स्टोर हाउस है, गुड और बैड एक्सपीरियंसेस सब उसमें स्टोर है, और इसको कंट्रोल कैसे करना? तो इसको कंट्रोल करने का जो लॉर्ड कृष्णा ने अर्जुन को बताया था, दैट इज बाय प्रैक्टिस. So it is the control by practice. The control by practice was used by Krishna, Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. अब लॉर्ड कृष्णा का कंट्रोल ऑफ प्रैक्टिसेस कैसे हो सकता है, which could be elaboration of that, my interpretation, which could be by study of scriptures, chanting of mantras, focus on spiritual needs and not physical wants. So ये सारा एलिमेंट अगर हम डेली के दिनचर्या में डालेंगे तभी 90% वाला जो माइंड का इश्यू है वो कंट्रोल में आना शुरू होगा. तो विदाउट दैट इट विल गो ऑन कंट्रोलिंग अस. ये तो 90% हुआ. व्हाट अबाउट द बैलेंस 10%? So 10% is the only conscious mind that we have. और ये वाला 10% का जो कंट्रोल है वो डिटैचमेंट से आएगा. सबसे पहले तो डिटैचमेंट में कंट्रोल ऑफ डिजायर्स वाले टॉपिक में भी आया था, स्टार्ट टू से नो. So as soon as we start to say no to our desires, because the mind is now giving a signal कि भैया ये desire, you suddenly want to do this is not going to happen. So you have started to say no. You have started to take the path which is the righteous path. So control by detachment starts with saying no. And second control is, यार इतना एम्बिशंस, इतना ईगो, इतना ये करना है, ये करना है, एक गाड़ी है तो 3 चाहिए, एक बंगलो है तो 4 चाहिए, कैरियर में अनरीजनेबल ग्रोथ चाहिए, पैसा चाहिए, पावर चाहिए. सो इतना जो एक्सपेक्टेशन का हम लोग अपने ऊपर अननेसेसरी का प्रेशर बना रहे हैं, which is a reason in which the mind is, because this is all fed by the guna of passion, the rajasic guna. इसको हम लोग को कंट्रोल करना है कि भी ठीक है, हमने लाइक इट इज पार्ट ऑफ द डिटैच्ड एक्शन ऑल्सो अपना कर्म किया है, अब जो होगा सही होगा, एंड वी आर हैप्पी विद दैट. सो दैट कंटेंटमेंट, थोड़े में खुश, दैट काइंड ऑफ we are never saying to be ascetic, संन्यास ले लो, बट जो भी कर रहे हो उसमें undue ambition, undue expectation को मत लाओ. That is a part of control by detachment. And the third control is to remain in the circle of your influence. भैया ट्रम्प कितना टैरिफ लगाएगा, तुम उसके कंट्रोल में नहीं हो, तो वो वाला तुम्हारा माइंड जो उस दिशा में ज़्यादा विचलित हो रहा है, या ट्रैफिक जैम में फंसे हुए है, आगे की गाड़ी मूव नहीं कर रहा है, बारिश हो गई है, फ्लड्स आ गए हैं, ये things that are not in your control, the nature or the environment, or whatever is happening around which you have no control of, उसकी तो चिंता बंद करो. that you can at least detach. ऐसा नहीं कि you not be informed of it, but let not that information cause you detachment. So last few years, of course, rather than detachment, we are getting attached to these kind of things too much. So particularly religion or politics, and in discussion on that, which we have no control of the matter being discussed, but it will end up in spoiling the best of relationships. So we need to detach ourselves from things that we cannot control. So this is how you control your mind. See, in the end, I will try to give you a very very simplified way of how this cycle of birth and rebirth is I think happening. No one knows it, and because we hear of it in the Gita, and we recite so many Vedic mantras, and try to find their meaning and read commentaries about that. My interpretation of this is so that I'm sharing this with you so that it becomes simple to understand. So human life cycle of birth, rebirth, this is what the cycle is. So the y-axis, the vertical axis, is a cumulative net credits of good karma after birth of a human being. ह्यूमन बीइंग पैदा है तभी होगा जब उसका नेट क्रेडिट पॉजिटिव हो. जब तक नेट क्रेडिट पॉजिटिव नहीं है तो वो कोई कीड़ा मकोड़ा इधर नॉट ह्यूमन स्पीशीज इज ओनली बॉर्न व्हेन द नेट क्रेडिट इज समहाउ पॉजिटिव. So let this axis, the vertical axis, be the cumulative net credits of good karma after every birth. And this is explicitly asked by Arjun and explained by Krishna कि भैया अगर मैंने किसी बर्थ में गड़बड़ कर दिया या कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया है और I have fallen from the path of righteousness, तो क्या होगा? Krishna explains it that the net credits keep on adding. ये cumulative वाला चक्कर है. इसमें एक तो ये सम ऑफ नहीं होता कि नेट ये क्रेडिट प्लस है और no, the good karma is plus and the bad karma is minus, and they are setting off each other. ऐसा नहीं है. So there is no set off. So there is a net which happens. If that net is positive, that positive net goes on remaining in your balance, and it will go on from one birth to the other. It will go on adding. Of the next birth, if the net credit is again there, again something it will add. If it is not there, whatever has been added will remain. वो zero नहीं होगा. That is exactly what Krishna said to Arjuna. Right? So ये तो y axis हो गया. X axis जो horizontal line है वो time है. Time could be ये आज का time नहीं है. इस birth का time नहीं है. ये birth, each birth is one cell in that chart that you are seeing. So each birth is one cell. So I'm just simplistically for simplifying the process giving you कि ये तो क्लियर है कि जब तक हमारा नेट क्रेडिट एक लेवल थ्रेशोल्ड लेवल तक नहीं आएगा तब तक वो साइकिल ऑफ बर्थ रिबर्थ चलता रहेगा और सफरिंग आता रहेगा. दिस इज क्लियरली सेड इन द भगवद गीता. So obviously once that threshold is crossed, then only the rebirth will happen in auspicious surrounding, explained beautifully by Krishna, that you will be born in a family where there is pious parents, there is prosperity. So this will only happen if a threshold of net credits is crossed, and this will go on increasing. Once reached, it will not become zero by any misdeed that you do. It might stop there, and you will go on, again getting a chance to amend, again getting a chance, which is a beauty of what Krishna says. And finally, at another threshold, you will reach Brahmlok, the abode of Lord Krishna, which will be free from the cycle of birth rebirth. So like I said, फर्स्ट बर्थ में जस्ट एग्जांपल में जस्ट टू एक्सप्लेन, आपका नेट क्रेडिट सपोज 5 था, सेकंड में 10 हो गया, तो अब आपको बढ़ते आ रहा है. 10 मतलब 5 पिछले वाला था और अब 5 हुआ, 10 ऐसे ही आप फिर 5 बढ़ गया, 15 हुआ. उसके बाद आपने देयर हैज बीन इन सम बर्थ्स नो क्रेडिट हैपनिंग, बट वो 15 रहा. देन फाइनली जो 30 जहां पे लिखा हुआ है, तो इन दैट बर्थ द क्रेडिट वाज 30, and it started from 15 to 30. So in the 1 2 3, in the fourth birth, in which there was zero credit, your 15 did not get destroyed. The 15 remained, and then next birth you made the necessary amendments. It became 30. फिर 30 से और बढ़ता रहा, और जहाँ 30 simplified illustration है, 30 के ऊपर suppose the threshold limit has crossed. Now you are in auspicious surrounding. Your births are happening in a auspicious surrounding, and you are more entitled. और नीचे वालों का तो वो बर्थ उसी सफरिंग में ही हो रहा है, गरीबी में ही. either they having disabilities, or they lead a life of crime, and they are going on, so they are at a disadvantage. It is not that from here they cannot become auspicious, or they cannot do something which gives them the advantage of the person who are at this comfortable journey, but the struggle is more. So of course they have this free will, they have more effort to be done to reach that threshold. So this happens, and finally you reach this stage. So I have in the illustration again simplified it कि अगर 60 के बाद है तो then you have reached a stage कि तुम ब्रह्मलोक चले जाओगे, and then finally you have reached moksha. So I have in a very simplified way tried to explain this to you. So this birth and rebirth, because many when I was studying it, it used to there were a lot of questions in my mind कि ये cycle है क्या, and what does Krishna mean that there is a cumulative effect that is happening, and I'm not penalizing you if you lose out in particular birth. And so all of this in this devotional journey, which Krishna very strongly emphasizes to Arjuna, there is no fallback. So it goes on increasing, and of course if we start very from low credits to reach a higher level, we have to go like in the third birth, the person who did 15 would have continued the journey of remaining below 30, and in that cycle. But like I have shown, in the fourth birth there was no credit, but in the fifth one he or she did something remarkable, and it lifted him towards that threshold. So this is something so if this is what is going to happen, तो ये तो बहुत अच्छी जर्नी है जो हम लोग करने वाले हैं. वो जो डेथ है वो leading us to something which is to a beautiful place. तो इतना of course like I said pain तो होगा, but if we understand that this is something which is inevitable, it is something in which हमको पेन को सफरिंग में नहीं करना है, और ये जो हमारे पास टाइम है हमें उसको गुड चॉइसेस अपने फ्री विल को लगाना है उस पर, और we have to prepare ourselves in the manner that we have said, and hopefully death will not be as bhayanak as we think it is, and it will be a part of life only, and a beautiful part of life. Thank you, dear friends. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudeva. God bless.